Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rawchaa Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who ruled well and who taught us this truth. Sincere salutations to you Akim and Akwaf around the four corners of the globe, believing this truth and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your brother Rawchaa from the GMS Orlando camp, and this is going to be a GMS quick hitter. All right. I was just sitting here meditating on these different false philosophies and doctrines that's been coming out lately, and how the Lord is constantly sifting amongst the nation of Israel, all right? Amongst you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right? The Lord is constantly sifting, all right? He's constantly sifting to get rid of the filth and the undesirables of our people, all right? So I want to start off in Amos 9:9. It says, "For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." All right, so let's get this word for sift here in the Hebrew. This word for sift here in the Hebrew is nawah. All right, nawah, it says, make to go up and down, be gone away, move, be promoted, reel, remove, scatter, set, shake, sift, stagger to and fro. All right, so the Lord is constantly shaking the nation of Israel to get rid of the undesirables and the filth of our nation. All right, the Lord is constantly shaking the nation of Israel to see who is rooted and grounded and builded on a solid foundation. All right, and the Lord has many sifting agents. All right, the Lord sifts many ways. The Lord sifts by way of these different philosophies and bugged out philosophies and doctrines. All right, seeing who's really studying to show themselves approved, to cast down these different imaginations and false doctrines that pop up. The Lord is sifting by sending these different calamities. All right, these different earthquakes, tempests, pestilences, wildfires, to see who's truly putting their trust in the Lord. All right, to deliver them out of their affliction. The Lord is sifting by way of family members, seeing who's going to bug out and drop this faith because their family or their friends don't like what they're saying. The Lord is sifting by way of doctrine, all right, to see who's really adhering and listening to sound doctrine and not taking this word for a joke. All right, the Lord is sifting by way of this work, all right, seeing who's really willing to make their bodies a living sacrifice to feed his sheep, all right, going out there on the highways and byways week in and week out, doing these epistles, all right. The Lord has many sifting agents, man. He's constantly shifting, day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, all right, to get rid of those undesirables and that filth, to come out with that fine product, all right, that fine wheat, that fine gold, all right. And I have a video I want to play going into the sifting process of wheat. And the sifting process of wheat, it's like within the sifting process of wheat, the wheat goes through many the wheat goes through many screenings, all right, in order to come out with that fine fine product, all right. Just like the men of the Lord go through many screenings to come out with that fine product, all right. So the Lord could come out with that fine product, which I want to get here in Sirach chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." So if you come to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, you better be preparing yourself to be tempted and to be put through different tribulations and trials and afflictions. All right, so that you may come out as that fine product. It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." Right, don't get weary-hearted when the Lord sends different afflictions upon you. All right, stay steadfast. All right, remember what you've learned. All right, continue in the faith. It says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate." It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." All right, so acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. All right, acceptable men are put through these different screenings, okay? Because the Lord is not going to set any man with his son, all right? The Lord is not going to save just anybody, you know? The Lord is not going to bless just anybody with the with the first dominion, man. All right, the Lord is going to give that blessing, that reward to the fine gold of our people, to the fine wheat of our people, man. All right, those who have been tried and refined. All right, that's who the kingdom and the privilege of sitting on Yahweh's right hand is going to be given to. All right, so I want to play this video. As I was watching it, man, it was very spiritual, man. It's a 5-minute video. I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to skip through it a little bit. But it's going into the sifting process of wheat, man. And as you watch this video, you kind of get a visual on how the Lord is sifting, all right, on the sifting process. So this is the video. Yeah. All right, Salaki Yakim. But this is the video. It says threshing, sifting, and winnowing wheat. All right. Now we're going to skip through it. It says, after threshing, it must be sifted to separate the berries from the heavy debris. First with this coarse screening. So first it goes through this a coarse screening. All right, to separate the berries from the heavy debris. All right, let's watch it. This is the men being poured, you know, in the affliction, you know, the Lord sifted. Damn. Now I can't hear the video, but you can hear the video. You Akim that may be watching, you know. Now see, after that first screening, it's poured into another bucket, and then it goes through a second screening. All right, and this screening is more finer than the other one, more finer than the first. All right. Says sifting it through the fine screen again will remove more large pieces and make it easier to winnow. All right. Now, after it's going through that process of screening, now it can be winnowed. All right. Now, this is the process of winnowing. It says winnowing wheat in slow-mo. The fan is on medium. The heavy wheat falls. All right. Those have been rooted and grounded. They fall. It says, while the lighter chaff blows away. All right, those who have not been rooted and grounded on a solid foundation. All right. And I want to get the scripture real quick, because the scriptures talk about when the wind begins to blow and those who are not built on a solid foundation begin to go away. This is Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken them unto a wise man, which buildeth his house upon a rock. So those who hearken unto these words, hearken unto sound doctrine, and are not only hearers of the word, but doers also, all right, showing their faith by their works, are likened unto a man who builded his house upon a rock. All right, and it says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So when these different trials and tribulations and afflictions came, all right, and started blowing on his house, it didn't blow away. All right, it didn't fall down, because they were built upon on a solid foundation. All right, it says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and it beat upon the house, and it fell not, before it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which buildeth his house upon the sand. All right, so those of you who hear these words but refuse to do them, or hear these words and just blow them off, all right, you're likened unto a foolish person, all right, foolish man that buildeth their house upon sand. All right, and let's see what the outcome of that is. It says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall. All right, so those are those people who don't adhere to sound doctrine. All right, don't show their faith by their works. All right, just hearers of the word and not doers as well. All right, are likened unto foolish men that built their house upon sand. All right, and when these different trials and tribulations and afflictions came, they were blew away. All right, their house fell, because they weren't rooted and grounded and built it up like they were supposed to be. All right, so going back in the video, you see those who are not solid blown away, and those who are solid, that wheat that's solid, dropping into the bucket. All right. And you see how very few is dropping into that bucket, man. All right, very few is passing this trial of being winnowed. All right, just like the men of the Lord, it says many are called, but few are chosen. All right, few men, like the brother from the camp did a video, few men are chosen to endure to the end on this path, man. All right. Then after that, man, it goes through a second winnowing process, man. Or it says the third pass, when it will dry, then it will dry for a few days and be winnowed again. You see, it goes through many processes, man. But yeah, that's the end of the video. All right, so let me see. In closing, I want to get this. All right, Colossians chapter 2 verse 6. As ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushua the Lord, so walk ye in him. All right, so as ye have received this word, all right, from the apostles and elders, a great millstone on down, walk in the way that you've been taught. All right, continue in the way that you've been taught. All right, because it says the same thing in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 14. All right, it says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. All right, so continue in this doctrine that you've been assured of. All right, this is 100% true. Okay, you can't have your eyes on all these different groups and all these different philosophies, because the scripture says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. All right, you looking and taking heed to all these different Israelite camps and these different doctrines and these different philosophies from theologians and so on and so forth is going to lead you to having is going to lead you to building your house upon that sand. You being likened unto that man building his house upon sand, all right, and not building his house upon that solid foundation. Okay, you have to continue in what you've learned, man. Continue in sound doctrine, okay, in order to be builded and rooted, all right, and have a solid foundation, all right. But it goes back to Colossians chapter 2. It says, rooted and builded up in him and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. All right, so that's it, man. All right, just continue in what you've learned and been assured of, sound doctrine, starting from the apostles of Great Millstone on down, so that in turn your house could be rooted and grounded and built on a solid foundation. All right. All right. So with that being said, shalom.